difficult for the fans to actually get an opportunity to be heard. The only thing and the only time you can hear them is when results are not going their ways, or when they need things to go and change in terms of football structure and what have you. That's why you saw the ugly scenes in Abuja, where fans just felt like, you know what, we are tired, and they just. I mean, I don't support the vandalism and what they've done, but that's to show you that the only language the fans know is to take law into their own hands and protest in the only way they understand, which is violence. And it's unfortunate this actually blighted that important qualifier in Abuja.
So let's look specifically at the issue of corruption. One of the fallouts of the match in Abuja against Ghana was the call for the NFF, the Nigerian Football Federation, to be dissolved. And there have been many cases of issues around corruption, and hope maybe some of the audience members will speak to this later. What, in your own sense, how do you think the question of corruption in sports, or in football in particular, has affected our fortune in football in Nigeria? And you can also talk maybe about some or any other African country you know before we come to Emir on the same subject.
So if I hear you correctly, you're talking about the impact of corruption on sporting development or football development in Nigeria, and maybe in some other African countries.
Well, yes.
Well, specifically in Nigeria, corruption is that ghost that everyone talks about, but we don't see. It just moves around. So officials will be telling you these are just allegations, and it's unfortunate. The easiest thing to know about
not to cut you, Shina. Maybe if you can help us also the nature, what it looks like, what areas are these things being felt, the nature of what people are talking about in terms of corruption.
I think basically there's been no accountability in terms of the money that comes into football in Nigeria. There's the sponsorship money, there's the grant from FIFA. FIFA always give FIFA forward money to countries yearly. It's gone to a tune of $1.6 million every year. And then if you qualify for the World Cup, there's the World Cup bonus that comes in terms of participation fee. Also, there are sponsors who come and sponsor the Nigerian Football Federation. There's been no accountability on how this money is spent, where does this money go to. All you hear about is the fact that these officials, and that's why in the last, I've been with the BBC since 2004. There's been no year that I don't write about corrupt stories concerning Nigerian Football Federation. Whether the coach is unpaid, the players are crying over unpaid bonuses, allowances, or they are being kicked out of hotels because the NFF have not really settled their bills to the hotel. That's why you see the NFF will tell you they're always cash strapped, but they are getting funding from FIFA. They are getting money from the government. Whenever Nigeria plays a qualifying, there's always money that comes in. So how does this problem start? We start hearing only when players are unpaid or when coaches are unpaid. That's when you hear that. But the money that was meant for this man, where has it gone to? Also, in terms of developmental, this money that FIFA gives them is not for you to go into your own private pocket. It's for you to develop football in your country. So before, it used to be the Go project where FIFA will give you money to go and do whatever you want to do under Seblata. Under Infantino, the money, you need to come to FIFA with a prepared program on how you want to, for instance, spend your $1.2 million for this year, for this allocation for this year. In Nigeria, they could not claim that money for 3 years because every time they send documents, this is from FIFA when I attended the FIFA Forward program in 2018 in South Africa, I was told by the FIFA officials that Nigeria could not defend the project they want to do because when you bring a project to FIFA, we do not want to see someone that is related to Oluwashina or someone that's related to Amel, who is in the federation. It has to come specifically for the project, and FIFA will be the ones to fund it. Nigeria used to collect the money. Now they don't collect the money, and there was a problem. So you're asking now, where does the money go to? No one knows because there's been no one. The NFF audits their own accounts, and they tell you we are clean. We are clean and all that. But of course, the government comes with allegations coming from the other party. You know, when I mean other party, there are people who don't. It's like a two-state party where you have someone who is in charge of this in a federation right now, and the opposition, someone who probably lost the case or someone who has interest in the position, making allegation of this money going missing That's when you get the authorities investigating, where is this money, where has it gone to? And that's where you hear FIFA saying, hey, don't interfere with our boys. You cannot investigate. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. You cannot interfere in running our football, blah, blah, blah.